Imagine a colossal creature forged from mud and magic, rising to defend the innocent against bloodthirsty mobs. But what happens when your protector becomes the monster? This is the chilling legend of the Prague Golem, and it's more real than you think. Welcome to Timeless Europe, where we journey through the continent's most captivating myths, histories, and hidden wonders. I'm your host on Timeless Europe, and today we're diving into the heart of Prague, not for its fairy tale castles or golden spires, but for a tale of clay, Kabbalistic spells, and a rabbi's desperate bid to save his people. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a step on our timeless adventures. Let's uncover the secrets of the Golem of Prague, Prague in the 16th century. To understand the Golem, we must first step back into the turbulent world of 16th century Europe. Prague, under the rule of Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II, was a melting pot of alchemists, astronomers, and artists. It was the golden age for some. Think Tycho Brahe charting the stars, or Archimboldo painting his bizarre fruit-faced portraits. But for the Jewish community, huddled in the cramped ghetto north of the Old Town Square, life was a precarious balance on the edge of peril. The Jewish quarter, known as Yosefov, was a labyrinth of narrow alleys, synagogues, and tenements. Jews had been in Prague since the 10th century, contributing as merchants, scholars, and artisans. Yet they faced constant threats, blood libels, those vicious rumors accusing Jews of ritual murders, sparked pogroms, violent attacks that left communities in ruins. Emperor Rudolf offered some protection, drawn to Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah, but anti-Semitism simmered like a pot ready to boil over. Enter Rabbi Judah Loew, better known as the Maharal of Prague. Born around 1512 in Poland, he became chief rabbi of Prague in 1573. A towering intellect, he blended Talmudic scholarship with philosophy, influencing thinkers like Descartes centuries later. But the Maharal wasn't just a bookworm. He was a man of action, deeply concerned for his flock amid rising tensions. Whispers of expulsions and massacres echoed from neighboring lands. Something had to be done, creating the Golem. The Golem legend draws from ancient Jewish folklore. The word golem means unformed substance in Hebrew, appearing in Psalms as a metaphor for an embryo or raw material. In Kabbalistic texts like the Sefer Yetzirah, the Book of Creation, mystics pondered shaping life from earth, echoing God's creation of Adam from dust. According to the tale in 1580, as threats mounted, Rabbi Loew sought divine guidance. In a dream, he received instructions. Fashion a man from clay and animate it with holy words to safeguard the Jews. With two trusted assistants, his son-in-law Isaac and disciple Jacob, the Maharal ventured to the banks of the Vltava River under the cover of night. They molded a massive figure over 7 feet tall from the river's clay. The rabbi inscribed Hebrew letters on his forehead, Aleph, Mem, Tav, spelling Emet, meaning truth. He placed a shem, a parchment with God's name, into its mouth. Circling the form 7 times, they chanted incantations from the Kabbalah. Suddenly the clay stirred, eyes opened. The Golem lived. This wasn't some mindless zombie. The Golem was a silent giant, immensely strong, obedient only to its creator. Named Yosef, or Yosele, it could understand commands but couldn't speak, a safeguard perhaps against rebellion. By day it posed as a mute servant in the rabbi's household, sweeping floors and fetching water. By night it patrolled the ghetto, thwarting spies and attackers with superhuman might. One famous story, a Christian baker accused Jews of poisoning wells. Mobs gathered. The Golem sent by the rabbi overturned carts, scattered the crowd, and even confronted the emperor's guards, proving the accusations false. Another time during Passover, when blood libels peaked, the golem discovered a plot to plant a dead child in the ghetto to frame the Jews. It carried the body back to the perpetrators, exposing their scheme. But power like this came with risks. The golem grew larger each day, its strength unchecked. Whispers spread. Was this creation a blessing or a curse? When protection turns to peril. As years passed, the golem's exploits became legendary, but so did the dangers. One Friday evening, as Shabbat approached, Rabbi Loew forgot to remove the shem from the golem's mouth, a ritual to let it rest. Uncommanded, the creature went berserk, rampaging through the ghetto, smashing doors and uprooting trees in blind fury. Panic ensued. Families barricaded themselves as the ground shook. The rabbi, rushing from synagogue prayers, confronted his creation. With a leap, aided by mystical speed, he erased the aleph from emet, leaving met, meaning death. The golem crumbled back to lifeless clay. Heartbroken but resolute, Rabbi Loew ordered the remains carried to the attic of the Old New Synagogue, Prague's oldest active shul, built in 1270. He decreed no one should ever disturb it, lest the golem awaken again. To this day, that attic is locked, and legends say the golem waits, ready to rise if the Jews face existential threat once more. Is there truth to this? Historians debate. Rabbi Loew was real, a revered figure buried in Prague's old Jewish cemetery. The golem story likely emerged in the 19th century, amplified by romantic writers like Gustav Meyrink in his novel, The Golem. Yet roots trace back earlier. A 17th century account mentions a golem-like servant in the Maharal's home. Perhaps it's a metaphor for Jewish resilience, or a cautionary tale about playing God. In times of peril like the Nazi occupation, stories persisted. Hitler, obsessed with occultism, allegedly sent agents to the attic, but found nothing. Or so the myth goes. Today the synagogue stands, its attic sealed, fueling tours and imaginations. Legacy and modern echoes. The golem's shadow looms large in culture. It inspired Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. The hubris of creation run amok. In comics, Superman's creators, both Jewish, drew from golem lore, an immigrant protector with hidden power. Films, books, even video games feature golem-like beings. In Prague, you'll find golem statues, museums, and themed cafes in the Jewish quarter. Now a UNESCO site blending history with hauntings. But beyond entertainment, the legend speaks to timeless themes, oppression and resistance. In an era of rising anti-Semitism, the golem reminds us of the lengths communities go to survive. Rabbi Loew died in 1609, but his philosophical works endure, pondering creation, ethics, and the divine spark in all. If you visit Prague, wander Josefov, stand before the Old New Synagogue, feel the weight of centuries. Who knows? On a misty night, you might hear footsteps echoing from above, and there you have it. The enthralling saga of the Prague golem, a clay guardian born of desperation and dissolved by destiny. From the muddy banks of the Vltava to the locked attic of legend, it's a story that blurs myth and history, challenging us to reflect on power, protection, and what it means to be human. Thanks for joining me on Timeless Europe. If this tale gripped you, give it a thumbs up, share with a friend who loves mysteries, and comment below. Do you think the golem could be real? What European legend should we explore next? Subscribe for more journeys through time, from Celtic druids to Venetian intrigues. Hit that bell for notifications. Support the channel on Patreon for exclusive behind the scenes, or check the links in the description for sources and merch. Until next time, keep wandering the paths of the past. Safe travels.